the law that was passed gives ByteDance 270 days, maybe up to a year, to divest TikTok and find an American buyer. Like, first, obviously, China has said explicitly that they will not allow the algorithm to go with the company, in which case TikTok without the algorithm is just sort of a fairly
I mean, who knows?
underwhelming.
I agree with you that it's very unlikely that TikTok in the US actually gets divested. It will probably just get shut down. But everyone like say, oh, the algorithm. I agree that the algorithm is very good. My bet is that a skunkwork team with 20 people could get you 95% of the algorithm in a few months if you really wanted to
But
divest.
then it's so, but even let's say you get to 95% of the algorithm, then you have this sort of severed like limb of a global platform that is US only. I mean, because TikTok will still exist in every other country or most other countries.
To be clear, it doesn't. It doesn't exist in India because India was smart and banned it. Right? The Chinese version of TikTok is incredibly different than the American version.
But,
so this idea
it would
that
be
like
a US.
We also know that the TikTok ban in India basically didn't work because people just use a VPN to access it, which is what they do in China to get around their great firewall, and what teens are doing in
China doesn't have access
to campuses where they,
Right.
So I mean, again, we're just talking about like efficacy. Like if we actually think this is going to work, I don't think it's going to.
It doesn't need to, but no, it doesn't need.
But again, I just want to point out, you did just say that you think the most likely scenario is that it actually will be banned, which is exactly what every First Amendment expert has been saying, which is why we argue that this clearly and blatantly violates the Constitution, which is why I don't think we'll actually be having this conversation come election time, because I think they're going to win in court. Because
I think
what the bill sponsors claimed was that we can pass First Amendment muster because they can sell it in time.
No.
And I think, Sam, you're probably more savvy about business than I am, but I think we'd both agree that like, it's not that easy to say. Forget all the algorithm stuff and whether they'll sell it with the algorithm. It takes a lot of time to sell a company that
there size. Are plenty of you could sell it like technically in time. I do think I agree with you that I think for a whole bunch of reasons, which is largely like the Chinese have no interest in operating TikTok and of selling it this way. Like it probably won't happen. That I agree with you, which is I don't know if you've seen the Nancy Pelosi video of her saying how we're improving TikTok, but it's one of the funnier things I've ever seen. In terms of the market. So there's a bunch of crazy stuff on it. But I think I think the First Amendment thing is interesting. I personally don't think it's such a cut and dry issue as some people claim it is. I think moreover, it's again, at the end of the day, it's like it almost doesn't even matter from my perspective. It's like it's very simple. It's like, does America defend itself or not? And if it's not going to, which honestly would be the current course and speed in a lot of places, I'm sad, and I think it's extremely dangerous because I do think what will happen is we'll look back and the Chinese will take Taiwan, right? By the way, the American youth will celebrate it because they were told to celebrate it. And that's wild.
I just want to push back on that a little bit because I think it's not giving young people in this country enough credit. I mean, it's just, this
Let's
is
not get into that one. On that one,
I think we're getting a little bit too into violent video games, poison the mind of our youth. I mean, how is this not the same moral panic that everyone spread around social media in general? Even the stuff with Palestine, people the GOP keeps pointing to this and saying it's TikTok making the kids like Palestine. And it's no, the demographic breakdown is the same. If young people are more pro-Palestine, and so TikTok is more pro-Palestine. It's not a conspiracy.
The algorithm, but it's also simple because the algorithm reinforces whatever initial political inclinations one has. So it's once you're on TikTok, if you express anything, sympathetic to Palestinians, there is a massively self-reinforcing algorithm that's just driving deeper and deeper division and polarization.
Which is the exact same thing on Instagram and
correct.
YouTube.
Everywhere. Right? I mean, that's why I'm trying to do this show. I mean, that's the whole point of bringing
the
you two together because
the difference is there's a very fundamental difference, right? Which is the Instagram has no fundamental interest in fucking up America. Zero, right? You can argue whether they're good or bad and the challenges but I promise you, it's just the board, the executives, there's no interest in screwing up America. China has every interest in the world in sowing division in our democracy as a non-democracy. They want to be able to point us and say, look, that democracy thing doesn't work at all. And so regardless of the state of playing field, you have one team that is interested, whether or not they're competent, they're interested and aligned, and one team that is literally their entire incentive set is for us to get fucked up. And like, I just wonder which one you want running social media.
So